Hey everyone, welcome to the podcast. My name's Ro. I'm the Stone Genius. As you know, I'm sometimes stoned, always a genius. Um, so this is a birthday show for Bobbi. Happy birthday, baby. But I do want to mention real quick that intro where I say that I'm sometimes stoned, always a genius. It was brought to my attention recently that the most recent episode before this, and maybe some episodes leading up to it, have not had the hilarity, perhaps, to which some of you are accustomed. And I apologize for that. I know, right? I was told that someone had said they'd listened to half the first show and they'd only had one laugh. So I apologize. And I started thinking about what might be the cause of that. And I believe it's the shows that I record in the morning will be less fun than shows I would record without the anticipation of work later that day. So basically what I'm saying is I see two ways of remedying this situation to try to make the shows as funny as ever. The first would be to record the shows in the evening so that I am able to partake in the sweet, sweet, enveloping vapors that I like to call Mary Jane. MJ. Mary Jane. That would be the easiest, probably. But probably the most fun I should just get higher before I go to work. That seems like a more, here's the thing. I should just get high in the morning and not go to work. How's that sound? Now I do sound like a stoner. I just gotta get high, man, and then I'm not gonna go to work or anything. Not sure what that was. Maybe a little Bill Clinton. Maybe. It sounded like a constipated Bill Clinton a little. For that, I apologize. No one wants to think about Bill Clinton pinching off a loaf. So now that I've said that, now that I've made the first 3.5 minutes of Bobbi's birthday show. No. Okay, guys, let's dial it back a notch. Okay, she's not a spring chicken anymore. So I keep reminding, and I don't know why I do this, I keep reminding Bobbi that she has been with me well over half of her life. That's half of her living years. And remember, the first handful plus years, you don't really remember, and you're shitting yourself and playing with your own turds and stuff. So that doesn't really count. So I've really been with her. Like, I met her when she was 21. I took my seed and shot it into her body via my penis. I just want people to know that we had sex. So I shot my ejaculate into my wife. Well, she wasn't my wife. I don't even think I knew her last name, actually, when this happened. I may have been close to it, like Loshman. Is that it? That probably would have been acceptable. If I would have introduced her as Bobbi Lumpman at that time, like the night I impregnated her, I would say there was only I was going to say 50-50, but it was not that high. Maybe a 15% chance I knew her last name. And before anyone thinks that sounds bad, I'm pretty sure she didn't know mine either. I think she's told me the story that the next day when she went back to work, wearing the same exact clothes she went out in the night before, I believe they asked about me, and she was able to come up with my last name. I mean, my first name, and that was it. I would like to know. So the morning after I met Bobbi, which was February 3rd, 1996, if anyone's keeping track, oh man, that the night I met Bobbi was just. So that the night I met her, I wasn't gonna go out. My roommate Kristen called me, said, "Hey, you should come out." Backstory: probably wasn't in the best of headspaces. My roommate, my friend Curtis, had been killed in a car accident about a month prior to this, and so some of my friends were trying to get me to go out. And for some reason, I'd always said no up to this point. Which, see, and that's when people knew things were wrong. What? He doesn't want to go out? Something's going on here. And then people would be like,
"Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?"
And I would be like, yeah, I just don't feel like, I don't want to go up to anyone and just have this conversation with them.
Take your pants off.
Maybe I do. I did. I did not know that at the time, but literally when I saw Bobbi, and I say this again, first of all, you have to remember, she's 6'1". I don't know whether she was wearing flats the night I met her, so she may have even been taller than that. When I walked into the bar, she was where we met, was up like 2 or 3 steps. The bar area is like elevated from the rest of the restaurant area. And so not only is she 6'1", then she's up another foot off the ground. I mean, above me when I walk in. And then they have these can ceiling lights. Well, for the regular area, it's higher than it is in the bar area. It's probably like 8-foot clearance in the bar area. And so she was standing right under the can light. So I used to say it was like a halo on her. I mean, she's so tall. It was her blonde hair. I just walked in, and it literally was like a spotlight. The weirdest thing. I mean, it would be like a movie. Like when someone walks in and it's, dark, and then they literally put a spotlight. That's how I felt. Now, her side of the story was when I walked in, it was cold. It was February. It was Kansas City. This was 1996. This is right when the Buccaneers were transitioning colors from creamsicle orange to their current pewter and red. It was happening at this time. Lifelong Bucks fan. I do prefer their creamsicle stuff, even now that it's been gone for 30 plus years. But I had this bright orange and white, but basically orange Buccaneers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers parka. So when I walk in, her being from a more rural area, her first thought is, why the fuck is a guy? And I know she doesn't say fuck now. I'm pretty sure she didn't say it then, because I have ruined her. I mean, she's come close. Like a couple times she said fudge, but like, was that a D? Was it? And see, that's the weird thing is like, I can't tell if that's a D. She always knows when I'm giving her the D. Oh, I even had to switch the pages of my soundboard. You guys have no idea how impressive that was. For me to have that thought, get to the right page and hit that button so fluidly, if I wouldn't be raving about how amazing I am, then you guys would have had no idea. You would have just thought that was smooth, man. I don't know why you sound like one of the hillbillies of comedy, whatever they're called, those country fried comedians. I had to have sounded like one of them. Sorry, I'm waiting for my vape pen to warm up. I'm telling you, I'm not doing this for me. Okay? Just to be 100% clear, I'm doing this for you. I'm getting high for you all. I probably have notes for another show that are going to just be amazing. I had so many notes on the last show that I didn't get to. So I meet Bobbi. So I see an angel standing underneath a spotlight. It's not even a spotlight to me. It is just God shot. No, that's not the right word. Bathed. No, I think that's the word R. Kelly used with his ladies. Okay, there's just a spotlight on her. And then, so I see this gorgeous, angelic, hot as fuck. I mean, those are I think those were my thoughts back then. It was not like, I want to get to know them. It was like, I want to fuck them or not. And then that would tell me whether I wanted to see them again. Because I saw Bobbi and I'm like, oh, yeah. She can call me Big Daddy. I'll call her Little Baby. So we went out, and I, being such an introvert, went up there. It's like 3 hours before. I probably just went up and said, hey, I did ask her if, I told her I wanted to kiss her. I told her, I made a statement. I said, I would really like to kiss you. And then she responded. So I don't know how long that was in. But here's the thing about Bobbi and I. Everyone thinks that I'm this bad boy, whatever you want to think of my history, you can. But Bobbi kissed me like probably less than 2 hours after we met, publicly with tongue. We've been married now for 25 years, together for 27. Getting her to kiss me with tongue out in public right now, I think would be a hard sell. But there she was, 2 hours after she met me. Blah, 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 blah. And that is not how either one of us kiss. That was more for you as an audio listener. I wanted you to understand what was going on. So our tongues were in each other's mouths going blah, 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 blah. I don't know. Maybe we kissed a little different. It was the 90s. Who knows? And she went home with me that first night. So, as I point out, I don't think I was any more of a slut, more or less than a slut than Bobbi. I just had more time to be slutty. So, not saying that's a good thing, not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just glad that I walked into that bar that night. I almost said last night. I wish it was last night. Sometimes it does feel like last night. And it's so weird when you think about memory, how there are certain memories from that night that are so crystal clear, and then the rest of the night's just... That's what's weird about memories. Because like on that night, I just want to know now, because I am so in love with this lady. She's hot. She's smart. She's an amazing mother, amazing wife. So I got really lucky. And I am well aware of that. I get it. And the butt stuff. We'll get to the butt stuff. So, yeah. Hold on. Well, we'll get to it. I know there's at least one of you tuning in just to hear about butt stuff. Actually, I know there's probably more than one of you tuning in just to hear about the butt stuff. But when I took her back to work the next morning, I mean, think about that now. I just think that would be, I don't know. I guess that I don't see that anymore. Where I'm at now, it just wouldn't. It would just be hilarious on some morning to be like, I'm pretty sure that's what they had on yesterday. At least it'd be something to talk about. So anyway, I took her home and I told Kristen the next day, the day after I took her back to work, and she just goes, I think his name's Rodney, to everyone that she met. I told Kristen that I was going to marry this girl. So for some reason, I was so confident. And remember, I was a slutty slut. And the reason I describe it that way, because there's no good way for it to come out. So if I just say it that way, then people would be like, oh, okay. So you just need the oh, okay. And we won't go into any more particulars, but it was pretty amazing with my history that I would meet her and the next morning. And I don't mean her because she's amazing. And I've learned that over the last 27 years. I'm just saying that is weird in the morning to say. I mean, because once again, we didn't have sex. She'd had too many beers by the time we got home, back to my place. So no sex on the first night. And I was still, maybe that was it. Maybe if I would have had sex with her on the first night, then nothing else would have ever happened. I don't know. So, but whatever did happen that night, it led me to believe that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with her. And here I am 27 years later. Here we are 27 years later. That is so, I want to say crazy, but that's probably my point of view. It's probably depressing from Bobbi's point of view. And there's nothing wrong with that. There shouldn't be anything wrong with someone saying, oh my God, I've been with you like 60% of my life. Yeah, I know, right? But if you had your choice, it's either me or go back to your parents. I do think I win that one. Actually, I know I win that one. That's the one I know I win. So, so then Bobbi wouldn't talk to me for 2 weeks. So then I spiraled out of control. I didn't spiral out of control, but I do remember going out one night with a whole bunch of people, and I got ripped. Okay, so first of all, I like to sing karaoke. I do not have to drink to sing karaoke. I do not have to drink to be amazing at karaoke. And I'm not talking about the vocals. Like you're not going to close your eyes and think that you're listening to angels sing. It would be more apt that you would close your eyes and it would sound like an angel was being attacked. Maybe. I'm not saying I have the best voice, but I make up with it in showmanship and my unique way of changing some of the words to some songs, making them more sexual. So I went out and I sang. My go-to often, if I don't know, if there's nothing that really is like, oh, I want to do this song. I'm feeling this song. And it's generally my groinular area that's feeling the song because it's going to be grinding around and stuff. So, but if I don't, it's going to be either the Monkees, Tom Jones, James Brown. Those are typically who I'm going to go to. If I'm just like, they need someone to do karaoke, there's a lull, I will. Those are a go-to for me. And so for that, some reason that night I was really into James Brown. And so I was singing all of James Brown classics and having a fun time doing it. Sorry, trying to get my pen off. That didn't sound right. I mean, it sounds like it should fit on the show, but never mind what I meant. Just assume whatever that comment, I'm trying to get my pen off, whatever your first thought was for that comment, run with it. Hold on. I think I have something for that, don't I? I probably don't. I don't know all these sounds yet. Hold on. I bet it's this one. Nope. Maybe. Maybe it's that one. Who knows? So I am singing James Brown songs, and often it was a bar that I did not frequent hardly at all. I don't want to say never because I don't remember prior to that time. I mean, I'd obviously known of the bar because I was there, but that being said, I often will take the approach that I don't give a shit. I'll never see these people again. I mean, it's a person at a restaurant. I may see them, but I'm not interacting with them. It's not like I'm going to see them the next day and then go, oh, you were singing karaoke. Hey, what's up? But here we go, the night after karaoke. I was actually supposed to, I believe, go on a date. I think I had a date set up because Bobbi wasn't talking to me. The person I wanted to marry was not talking to me for 2 weeks. She may have had some entanglements to rid herself of, but I think I reached out quite a bit, and at that time it was different. I don't know about now, like calling and texting and stuff like that. I don't know how that would be. I mean, I don't know how I would be about that. I'm pretty just like if I think it, I do it, I say it, whatever. So probably wouldn't have been the best back then. I'd be texting, hey, Bobbi, it's really great. Let's go all the way next time. Hold on. Actually, for her, that would have been. Actually, no, the next time, because that would have led to Morgan. Yeah. So I know that's so yeah, if I would have said something about sex, she probably would have been like, oh yeah. That's probably why she probably went to sleep the first night because she needed to rest. She thought we were gonna have morning sex. And so she wanted to rest. And then we woke up and we looked at each other and there's that like, okay. And then, do I take you home? Do I take you to work? Where am I taking you? What's your name again? You know, you're going through all those things, playing through all those things after that first night. But she didn't talk to me for 2 weeks. So I go out, I sing karaoke. I'm singing predominantly James Brown songs. Living in America is always a good one. And actually, I don't know if I sang that yet. Was that out yet? It had to be out. Yeah, because that was like Rocky 3, I think. That James Brown song was in a Rocky movie. So I go out and I sing. And I'm amazing. I mean, literally amazing. I think I actually had someone say, hey, Ro, you are amazing. And then the crowd went nuts when I sang. Actually, I think the first couple songs I sang, they looked at me and they're like, why is that singing James Brown? And then I slayed. So I have a date the night after karaoke. I have a date, I believe. And then Bobbi calls me out of the blue, like in the evening. Like, it wasn't like she called in the afternoon, what are you doing tonight? She called like probably when I was on the way out the door. And here's the thing. Back then, very few people had what's called a pager. No one had cell phones. You were rich if you had a cell phone in 96. I mean, back then you paid for every minute, like 25 cents for every minute on a cell phone. It was different times. And I mean, I think as soon as I got the call from Bobbi, everything else stopped. I was like, yes, where are you? And I was so ready to go see her. So I went and met her at a bar, and she was with a friend. And when I show up, the friend leaves, her roommate leaves. She was probably there for interference purposes, which is fine. So we're sitting there talking. I am doing my best because here's a girl that went home with me, wouldn't talk to me for 2 weeks, and now here she is calling me again. And I think it's about Valentine's Day, or it may have actually been Valentine's Day. And so we're sitting there, and a group of people walk by, and they stop by our table. And they go, "Hey, isn't your name Roe?" And I looked at them and I was like, yeah. And they go, "We were there last night. You were singing James Brown songs." And I think I just looked at the person. Hold on. Yeah. I was like, what are you doing to me? You don't say that in front. This is like read the table. That's not something I should have looked. I think I was looking at the person that said it. Like, why are you saying this? And I should have been looking at Bobbi's face. I should have looked at her face to see what kind of reaction there was when, oh, you sing James Brown songs at karaoke. Interesting. Because that could have been it. That could have been a deal breaker right there. I mean, I don't know. Bobbi may have had a phobia for karaoke. I have no idea. So that could have been the end right there. It wasn't. I was like, oh, yeah. Blah, blah, blah. So, and then they went off. So Bobbi and I were there, and I'm like, I am assuming I don't remember any of that conversation. I am sure that I was working it hard. I mean, I was really trying to finish the deal at this point. I was like, my thought was if I could just get my seed in her, everything would be fine. So so now what I'm having to do is even work myself up more, build myself up more to counteract any potential negative effects that I would have from the comments made by the people that came by our table. Then another group comes by our table. First of all, I didn't know people that go. So I think that the people that go to karaoke and then you see them the next night at a bar, they are what we call alcoholics. Now, I have just said that out loud, and I will. This is when I see conflict, I have to resolve it. I will take that statement back because I was at a bar both nights. I was doing karaoke and then I was at a bar the next night. So I am, by my own definition, an alcoholic who doesn't really drink alcohol, which I guess there's a lot of those. I guess if you're an alcoholic, the best thing to do is not drink alcohol. Anyway, I digress. I just had to realize that I had a conflict and I needed to resolve that in real time. Isn't that cool? I don't know what that was. That's the music that I hear in my head when I resolve a conflict. So here I am just smoozing the crap out of Bobbi. And if you're not familiar with the word schmoozing, I believe it is of Gaelic origination, and it means to get in one's pants. So just remember, schmoozing my boss, you're trying to get in their pants. And I just made that up. But there are a certain number of you that will believe that. And even though I've said that I made it up, there's a certain number of you that are going to disregard that I said I made that up and will now use schmoozing to mean getting in someone's pants. So you're welcome. Let's see. So here I am. I am doing my best to make Bobbi think of me and not of the people that stopped by our table and rudely told my date that I was singing James Brown karaoke. Evidently, someone else thought they didn't do a good enough job, so another group came by, that second group, to tell me also that they enjoyed my James Brown karaoke. And here's the thing. In retrospect, as I talk this out 27 years later, nearly 27 years later, I realize I should have been more appreciative of the compliments I was getting for James Brown, because I am sure, almost with certainty, that I was doing my best to deflect that and be like, oh, no, playing it down. And it was probably more to play it down because I didn't know how Bobbi would react to me singing karaoke or James Brown. Didn't need her to run away from that. I mean, it took her 2 weeks to call me. This, I was afraid, was going to... Yeah. I think we went back to her place that night. Let's see. I'm literally going to try to remember my memories. And this is going to be bad because this is for Bobbi. So if she's listening to this, which even though it is for her, that does not guarantee a full listen to this podcast by my wife. However, if she is listening to this, she may go, oh, well, geez, I remember a lot more than that. Because this is how it goes. We met. I saw her. Okay. Halo saw her. She went home with me. We didn't have sex. If there's a line in a song, he's a lot of fun if you eat at night 1, Megan Thee Stallion. So this was even before Megan Thee Stallion, I believe, was born. And I was doing that. So yes, I was being fun. Evidently, from what Megan Thee Stallion says, I was being a lot of fun. Now, I did not know that at the time because she didn't talk to me for 2 weeks. I mean, generally, like if someone's a lot of fun, you'd be like, I want to hang out with that person again. That was a lot of fun. Or if you lived in the 1930s, it'd be like, no, I mean, that could have been like the 1930s also, but it'd probably be more like this. I can't even do it now. It's too late. I lost it. See, that's what's wrong. When you hit the wrong button, sometimes you lose it. And if you need to relate that, if you're like, I don't really understand, Ro, think about this. And this would be with a penis, someone with a penis and someone with a vagina, however you want to term those people. Whenever you're listening to this, the terminology for those penis-infested people and vagina-infested people, that would be a good name for them, penis-infested and vagina-infested. When those two come together, it really needs to be those two. So if you are not one that says likes backdoor stuff, if you're going at it very hard, like, so every once in a while, guys will do locker room talk, and they'll talk, have you ever done this? Have you done that? You tried this, try this. And when people used to ask, go, have you and Bobby ever tried butt stuff or anal? My response was only on accident. Dang it. I'm really not doing well with these buttons. I think I actually do better with the buttons when I'm higher. I don't know that for a fact because I don't listen to my own shows. I still don't know what the Crying Vomit Baby show was about. I do need to listen to that because I'm afraid I'm going to listen to it and just be like, I didn't do that. That may be my voice, but I did not do that. Maybe I brought it from the other universes I traveled to. Parallel universes, not like celestial universes. Anywho, anyhow, anyway. So I meet Bobbi. I see Bobbi, take her home. I ate macaroni and cheese. So I just learned that this week too. If I didn't point it out on my last show, when someone said it was like macaroni and cheese, I was like, isn't that disgusting? And then I had to be told by a child of mine that was the sound they were talking about. And then it made a lot more sense. I was like, oh, see, just because you're a genius doesn't mean you know everything. And I felt like I should have, yeah. So, but it does make sense now. I see her. I take her home. Fun night one. She doesn't talk to me for 2 weeks. She calls me. I drop a date to go. I drop everything to go see her. People tell me that I may have done the best James Brown karaoke renditions in the history of mankind. And this is while James Brown was still alive, I believe. I don't know that. I don't know when he passed. It could have been somewhere. If someone goes, when did James Brown die? I'd say somewhere between 1990 and 2010. And, there's other things I can be very specific about a date, but not that. So I'm singing James Brown. She still decides to go home with me. Or I go home with her. See, I don't even remember that night. I would assume that she would have gone home with me because she knew my roommate and would probably feel less flack than going back to her roommate who may at some point stand in the doorway and just watch us having sex, judge us. So we're going to fast forward to that. So, because it wasn't that far into the future. So we go home that night. Don't know, my place, her place, probably my place. We did a lot of stuff. I don't think that was the first night that we had sex. I think it was a couple days later. Yeah, I was waiting. That's how much she meant to me. Oh, dang it. Where's that voice?
Is this it? Yeah, this is the voice. Hey, she meant so much to me.
I need to find out. I need to remember. I like that one. Just because it sounds like in the 1930s or something.
Hey, lady, come over here and get yourself some dick. Yeah, me, I'd like to put my penis inside your vagina and grind it around a lot. Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
Ugh, man, that's too loud right now. Jiminy cracker corns. So then at some point, the things I remember about her apartment and her roommate. I think only a couple things do I remember. Some reason I was comfortable enough to take a shower there and sing the Love Boat theme at the top of my lungs. So here's a girl that I had just met. I'm assuming on the day of this shower, we had just had sex. That's why I was showering, because you don't want that sex smell when you go to work or do whatever. But I was singing the theme to the television show, The Love Boat. And if you're not familiar with that theme, it is a theme that, if you lived during that time, if someone was humming that, you would know what that theme was. It was appropriate probably for the beginning of our relationship, but it's just Like, there were probably a lot of red flags that Bobbi just totally missed. I should check and see if I don't think she's colorblind because she does very well dressing. But at the same time, there were probably a lot of red flags that like, me singing James Brown karaoke, probably a red flag. Me singing the Love Boat theme while you and your roommate at your apartment in your shower. Yeah. So there were a lot of red flags. And maybe it was the dick. Because I do remember then that the only other thing I really remember about her apartment was we were really going at it one morning. I guess morning wood. WOOD. And then you combine that with the WOULD, and yes, we would. But I just remember looking over my shoulder and her roommate standing there. And it wasn't like, so when I look, it seemed like they were more static, not like they were in fluid movement. Like they walked in, whoa, and then, and it just kept moving and did a circle and walked back out. It seemed like they may have been standing there for a second and maybe it was just to be like, hey, what's going on? Ooh, are you all right, Bobbi? Bobbi, are you all right? Hold on.
Bobbi, are you all right? Hello, Bobbi, are you all right? It looks like that guy's doing things to you.
And actually, I don't want to use that as Shannon's voice because that's always Bobbi's voice. So she would have answered,
oh, yeah, he's giving me the dick really good. Are you enjoying standing there watching us? Get the fuck out of my room, bitch.
oh, I love that. Oh, if Bobbi's voice was like that and she talked like that, I'm not saying it would be a turn on, but I'm not saying I don't want to try it once.
Oh, yeah, you dirty motherfucker. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm going to have her do that some night. I'm just going to put my headphones on and I'm going to lay there and I'll have Bobbi talk to me.
Oh, bro, you're so sweet. I just want to punch you in your fucking balls.
Oh, I do love that.
It's so much more fun than this. This sounds like, I don't know, but it's not quite as fun as this one.
Because this is so much fun. I love doing this.
Okay, I really do enjoy doing that. That is so much. I have such a smile on my face when I'm doing that. And I know that you all listening in your car, your office, your cubicle, wherever, you may not enjoy that quite as much, but I think that is fun. I wonder if I could recreate the, oh, yeah. So let's keep on with our timeline. Since I'm talking about my wonderful birthdayed wife. So we get the timeline. I get her pregnant. My seed does its job. We get to September. So September at her birthday, my cousin was getting married. So Bobbi was 7 months pregnant by this time. September. And you're like, hold on. Oh, you were like,
dang it, that's not the one I wanted. Motherfucker.
That's the one I wanted. You're like, hold on. She was 7 months pregnant the beginning of September, and you guys met the beginning of February? Yeah. So that's 7 months. So we had talked about eloping at this point. I was already sure I was going to marry. We were talking about eloping. We just thought that would be the easiest, best way. We were getting flack from my parents who didn't even want us to keep the baby, who's Morgan, by the way. And so they wanted us to explore options and things like that. So we were like, let's just run away and get married. I was in my cousin's wedding. Hey, happy anniversary. I was standing up there as part of the wedding party, looking at my beautiful, beautiful wife, sitting with Mama Jane, my grandmother, and other family members. And I remember thinking, there is no fucking way that we're eloping at this point. I probably was more like this.
There's no, that's not the one that I was using.
There's no fucking way we're gonna elope now.
Hey, I want to have a wedding like this. No eloping, motherfucker. You put a seed in me, now you gotta put a ring on my finger and give me a church wedding. Or I'm gonna cut you off from sex.
That was almost the exact conversation we had. Not even close. So I just looked out and I saw in her face we were not going to elope. She didn't have to say the words. I knew. So a month later, we have the baby. We have Mo. We wait a year and get married. So our anniversary is 2 days after Morgan's birthday, a year and 2 days after, which is why she was in our wedding pictures. Let's see, move back to Kansas City, have another child. And now we're today. That was it. That was literally all the memories I have of the last 27 years. I'm just kidding. They're too great and too many. I will say here at the end of this show, as I wrap this up, I would highly suggest, if you have not found the love of your life yet, and not everyone needs or wants a love of their life, but it is, if something that you desire and you have found them, it is amazing. At least from my point of view. You can ask Bobby. Bobby may have a different, but it is amazing. I highly recommend it. I mean, not mine. You got to get your own. But I'm saying I highly recommend it. They are amazing to have someone that makes you smile. I mean, I'm smiling right now just thinking about Bobbi. Man, I love her so much. The weird thing is also, and I've talked about it before, is that we've kind of traded places. Not traded places. But she has become, her sense of humor has become much more in line with mine. And I apologize. I often complain about dumb people that when you have a conversation, you have to speak so that they can understand. I apologize that Bobbi had to take on my sense of humor, because it is not really a sense of humor that would be fully accepted by a wide audience. So I appreciate her hilarity, even for this week. So Catherine, all of you know that the studio is also at my house. So Bobbi will be out of town. She's going to see her niece and nephew and brother and sister-in-law. But I was going to have Catherine over for an interview, which I know is not a problem. That's not an issue, never has been. But I always still run it by my wife, because things could change. She could change her mind. So I just said, hey, I was going to interview Catherine Thursday night, if that's okay. And her response was, sheesh, at least let me get out of town first, or give it 24 hours. So I appreciate the humor and the comeback like that. Because there are a lot of people that would be like, there is not a woman that's coming to our house when I'm not there. So it is so appreciative to have such a loving, understanding, smart, put up with all my shit wife. So Bobbi, you are so amazing. I love you so incredibly much. And thanks for doing our podcast together. I know that is way outside your comfort zone, doing the longest one night stand with Bobbi and Ro. I know that is difficult for you, but I appreciate it. I love doing that show with you. I do think sometime, I always call this the podcast because sometimes we will have the web show. I do think Bobbi and I will have a web show sooner rather than later. And we will talk about that at some point as well. So anyway, happy birthday to my wife. I know that this was not a show. This was a show for an audience of one. And she may not even listen to it, but I just wanted to gush about my wife. I wish I could find out whatever that feeling was. I wish I could compare it. I wish there was a way to quantitatively compare my feelings that morning to the feelings I have now. Because I feel like they've grown over 27 years. But how do you, when you're punched in the face so hard by someone that you know you're going to marry? I am going to marry this person. I wish I could say that about other things. Like, I know I'm going to win Powerball. I mean, I probably wouldn't wait 27 years now for Powerball to happen. But I would have. Like when I met Bobbi, if I would have gotten her and then Powerball, but we didn't get Powerball till now, I would have waited that long for Powerball. But now if I wait 27 years, geez, I'm going to be 82. No. Hold on. Why is that? No. Yeah, 82. I'm just going to say me at 82 is going to require tremendous advances in the medical technology field. I would just say that. Anyway, hey, if you made it to this long in the show, I so appreciate it. Go on social media. We have The Longest One Night, at The Longest One Night Stand on Instagram. I probably won't do a post for my wife's birthday because that's just how I am. I wish I could. I'm talking about it right now and my phone's not within reach, but I still will probably forget to do it. But you can wish her a happy birthday. She's on Facebook. She's other places as well. But happy birthday to my lovely wife. Hey, for everyone else, I should, if she shows up, going to have Catherine. They'll be on the show the next episode that comes out. We're going to talk real estate, tennis, and what the heck she's doing at my house when my wife's not there. So, we're also going to discuss whether these sound more like crickets, because last time she said my soundboard did not have a cricket sound. She said it was something other than crickets, although she couldn't pinpoint it. Well, here's the deal. Don't tell me it sounds like something else unless you can tell me what that other sound is. Okay? So we'll look forward to having her on the next episode. I look forward to talking to you. I will do my best to start recording these songs in a time frame that allows me to be properly prepared for the show. And by that, I mean high. And I'm not doing that for me. I want you to know it's you, the consumer of this content. That's who I'm doing that for. Oh, you're welcome. Please, you guys don't have to do that. Really. So, anyway, you know me. Right now, I am not stoned, but I am a genius. My name's Rode. TSG to all you out there. Thanks for listening to the podcast. I will talk to you all at another time.